Welcome back to our community. Susie Thomas visiting with Miriam, Joe, and Tanya Yoder, brother, sister, husband, wife, a group of 3 here, and talking about building for Christ, which is just an amazing idea. Why has no one thought of this before? Does that ever hit you? I mean, you kind of think, oh, wait, we've known how to build things for quite some time, and we've been going to these other cultures and countries for quite some time. Did that ever hit you? Like, my goodness, why are we the ones doing this?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think we just have such a great opportunity. I mean, if you have resources and you have the knowledge, I think you can use it. You know, anybody can go and do this, partner alongside us or whatever. But I mean, if we go over there and work alongside these people, I mean, we can show them, the stuff that we know, the knowledge, construction knowledge, what we learn in our businesses and stuff. And they also teach us a lot of stuff. I mean, the humility that they have to work alongside people.
I'm sure you've got stories, some of your favorite stories, maybe, Miriam, about working with children, even in your initial visit. How did they touch your heart?
I guess the first visit that I had working with Watoto was, I guess what really struck me was there's so many children that needed just attention, needed love, and needed just some time to be loved on. And I thought, if that's something that I can dedicate a little bit of time to and go share a little bit of love with them and just, let them know somebody loves them. I think that was what really struck a chord in my heart to go back. The second trip, when Joe and I went, was a completely different trip. That was really getting to see Uganda and getting to see northern Uganda in Gulu, seeing different communities out in the villages. Like, they were so remote villages. How
did you get to them?
Okay,
Dirt
so
bikes.
the first the village that we had gone to, we drove in a van for a couple hours. We got on a boda, which is basically like a dirt bike, like 3 of us piled on it. It was the driver, Joe, and I were all on this like little dirt bike, and we went and for a good half an hour,
Probably about half an hour.
and we went back on these back dirt roads, like where you can't get a vehicle back in there, and so we got back in there with that, and but then we walked the rest of the way. There was a small creek that the dirt bikes didn't go through, so we walked. So to go back in such remote villages and to see children that had never seen a light-colored person
like
before
light
in their
skin.
Yeah, it was just.
What was their reaction to you?
They ran and screamed.
They were terrified.
They were. They never seen that, and that's the thing. Also, with there was no books, there's no education. It wasn't anything that it took them a couple days to get adjusted to us being there, but it was really neat to get to teach them that we're all the same on the inside, and that we were there to just to show them some love and just to be there with the community. So that was really neat to kind of get to. I have a heart towards kids, so that was kind of neat for me to kind of gain over their trust and their love. So that was fun that I got to do that.
It's very brave of you as well. When we hear of so many. Still, like hundreds of people groups that we know of that have not yet been reached by modern civilization.
Right.
And what did you find in that group? I mean, when it takes that much effort to get to them, and then you're talking to people who've never seen somebody that's a different color, talked a different language, you would be like outer space. It might as well have been aliens landing. How did you make those inroads and with their parents and begin to communicate with them? Because obviously they had not been to school.
Well, I mean, Pastor George, the pastor that we work with over there, he had a connection with them. They had a church started there.
Wow.
But which is a big thing there because obviously these, they wouldn't. I don't know how old. I think that church was still fairly new when we got there. New. So, the people were just starting to. Come to church and starting to learn about Jesus. So,
what is their reaction when they find out that there is a God who knows them and loves them?
They literally come running.
Yeah.
That's how it is. I mean, they are. The church fills up really fast there. It's kind of some of the pastors are really young pastors, but they learn so quickly. I mean, they learn the scripture so quickly because
I think there's a hunger there, and I think that's
a lot of hunger. Yeah,
I think that's what makes it so awesome to see that in the churches, especially with the young pastors that Joe mentioned, is they have that hunger and that thirst for the word that they want to just give it to everybody that that they get to talk to.
We're told there's a God-sized hole inside each of us that only He can really fill, and I just can't imagine that. Here it is. This is it. This is the thing that has been missing, and I have not been able to find it. And thank you for going to all the trouble of finding us to share this with us.
Yeah. I mean,
and where have you been?
Yeah. I mean, they don't have any, in this village in particular, there's no, I don't think any of the outreach villages have any electricity. There's no phones or nothing. The only phones they might have is a cell phone, which they charge with like a solar, if they have that.
Seriously?
And most of them don't have that. But it's kind of funny to see these little, these houses with thatch roofs on them, and they got a little solar panel to charge their cell phone. Which is kind of weird in a way, but it's kind of funny to see that. But,
they make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do all of you adapt when you're going through this kind of a completely different world? Tanya, you've been to so many and looking forward to an African country now for the first time. How do you get along without your hairdryer and, all those kinds of things?
Oh, you just leave the hairdryer at home.
Yeah.
No, you don't bring it. You just enjoy the frizz, enjoy the humidity, and you just rock it.
And go au natural.
Yes, all natural
I'm
is the way
guessing no
to go.
mirrors, anything, right?
At the
place
guest
where
house.
we stay at is right in Gulu. I mean, there we stay at a guest house in Gulu.
And they have
which is close to
electricity.
the main-
Yeah,
Okay.
they're pretty set up. They're
Okay.
pretty set up there.
Yeah.
But in the villages we go visit and that we build, there's not a lot of that.
No, a lot of these kids, I mean, they'll walk up to the van and look at themselves in the window because
and they've
they
never
see their
seen-
reflection. Because
Yeah.
they're so, this is just something we do every day, and we don't even think about it. But they come up there and look in the van, and they're just,
They're
checking
That's
out
what I look
themselves.
like.
And
or trying to figure out who is
Well, exactly,
that.
yeah.
Well, and how interesting for you to say they have electricity. They're set up. That's amazing. That's an amazing statement.
Well, in Gulu, it's pretty modernized, I would say.
Uh-huh.
It's
even the last few years the
Right.
economy has started to pick up
Yeah.
a little bit there. They actually have a decent sized mall. I mean, it's nothing compared to what we have here, but even still,
They have groceries
they have
and
a lot of
Okay.
stores that
necessities.
are up and coming. So yeah.
Yeah. Refrigeration. Do they have a way to keep things cold, or do they?
Oh, sure, if your
Okay.
electricity stays on.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is, rare.
Day in, day out.
Yeah, well.
Okay, it can be on or off. Got it. What do you need? Because I'm thinking, okay, manpower, stuff, funds. How do we get on board with this? Because it's awesome, and I think everybody's going to want to participate.
Yeah, I mean, this year is actually the first year that I'm taking an official. I mean, I took another team 2 years ago, just me and two of my friends. This year is actually the first year that I'm taking officially like a team over for Building for Christ. But definitely, I mean, we'll be going every year and hopefully sometime twice a year. I don't know yet, what God has for us, but if somebody wants to participate, as far as going along on the trip, all they have to do is contact us on our Facebook page.
And again,
can
go to
send us a message
Facebook
or-
and just do a search on Building for Christ.
Yes.
You mentioned that you'd like to take a bunch of toys down or some things for kids to play with.
There's definitely a great need for toys. The only thing is, we only have a limited amount of suitcases that we can take along. And this year, I know we'll have full suitcases. We're each taking along a couple. So, I mean, but if somebody wants to donate toys or books, we're taking along this year. We're actually taking along some Bibles, English Bibles, and also some study Bibles, and then also some children's books. A lot of children's books, coloring books, Bible story books, things like that.
So you need all these things to be able to take.
Yes,
It would be awesome. It would just help a lot to be able to take those over, and it'll do a real impact for the children over there.
And
to have that.
picture Bible books for children
picture
because
Bible books
they're not
for
reading
younger.
English.
Right.
They're not. I mean, they do learn English, but these are,
They won't be
they're
reading.
younger. They're preschool up
Yes.
to primary levels or whatever. So,
When are you leaving?
we're actually leaving February the 24th till March the 10th. So yeah.
Okay, what should people plan on if they're saying, you know what? Okay, I am convicted. I'm coming along, and they contact you, even though they've only got a couple weeks. And
Well,
this
here's
is
the thing.
life-changing.
As far as if they want to come along, it's going to be a little tough because you have to have shots, different stuff like
Okay.
that. There's a lot of
Yeah.
different shots you have to have at a
So
certain.
this
which-
team is set.
Yes.
This
it
team
would
is
be
set
the
for
next
this trip,
time.
but
Next
yeah,
year.
for the next time, I would love to take more people along.
Okay.
So yeah.
And are you looking at when that would be in the fall sometime?
Possibly in the fall if there's enough interest. There's some interest from our church. So I'm not sure. I might be taking another team in the fall. We'll just have to see.
Okay. What church?
Grace Mennonite Church in Berlin, Ohio. So that's
Again, I hear so many things happening at Grace Mennonite Church in Berlin, Ohio. How many people go to your church? How large is the congregation?
600?
600 or
Maybe more.
700. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And all just doing phenomenal things out there, among faraway people's groups. It's amazing to me. I know women who decided to build a bakery in Iraq. It's just unbelievable what's coming through. Okay, let's go over all the details here. You want to go to buildingforchrist.org, yes, or go to Facebook and do a search on Building for Christ. Needs, let's run through them again. Would you take financial assistance?
Yes, you can donate online or through. I think there's a link through our Facebook page as well where they can. Is it called Fund Me? I think. Or
I'm
something.
not sure what it is.
GoFundMe,
Yeah, I think
maybe.
there's a link on there for that
Should
as
be on
well.
Facebook.
Okay.
And if you guys can't find any way to contact, you can contact us through our Facebook if you can't find that link or whatever. But
Yeah.
Okay.
definitely, we would love to have people to partner with us, not only just one time. If they want to partner with us for further down the road or whatever, that would be awesome. And also, we definitely have need for children's books, toys and stuff like that. If people want to,
And folks who want to donate physical items like that, bring to
you can bring it to.
church?
Yeah, you could. Well,
Fresh Treads, I would say.
yeah, Fresh Treads Tire and Lube in Winesburg, Ohio,
Okay.
and to get the address.
Well, that's okay. We can
Okay.
look up Fresh Treads
Yeah,
Tire
Fresh
and Lube.
Treads Tire and
in
Lube.
It'll pop
Winesburg.
up on Facebook
Yeah.
as well, or if you look on the Building for Christ page, there'll be Fresh Treads. I believe the address is actually on there as well for Fresh Treads.
And that is actually, we do have some stuff going on our Facebook page right now, and that is one of the drop-off points at that. So
And we will certainly be praying for you February 24th through March 10th. Miriam Yoder, Joe Yoder, Tanya Yoder, thank you so much for what you're doing in our community.
Thank
All right,
you. We
thank
really
you.
appreciate this
Yes,
opportunity.
thanks for having us.